Gametime. Formerly, It's Family Food and Fun. Located in Houston, Texas, is an interesting family entertainment center that has the distinction of being the only amusement park within the Houston city limits. But with any FEC, price is always a concern. However, there are specials that you can take advantage of to have a good time at this park and maximize how far your money goes. Find out more in this review. So, for starters, how is this the only amusement park in Houston? All current parks with roller coasters in Houston are in suburb towns around the city limits, as I explained in my roller coasters of Houston video, from Galveston, Brookshire, Montgomery, New Caney, and Kemah. Then there are two operating parks that used to have roller coasters: Hurricane Harbor Splashdown in Spring, which is actually just cut out of the Houston city limits if you look at a map. Like, Houston's boundaries are really weird, y'all. And Gametime, which got on the map from its Express back in the day. I go by the roller coaster database definition of a park that has had a permanent roller coaster in the past, so the Houston Rodeo does not count, as it only has temporary traveling coasters, and the Downtown Aquarium, as Landry's flagship property, also doesn't count, as it has never had a coaster. I also don't count defunct parks like Astroworld, since you can no longer go to them. There are doubtlessly other definitions that one could use, and places of interest within Houston that might count as an amusement park. As a local Houstonian, I would also argue that the distinction between Houston city limits and the Houston area, especially with regards to the placement of an amusement park, is relatively trivial, as I've grown up in the suburb cities of Houston and always just referred to myself as living in Houston. So yes, it is a geographic quirk that I'm using to celebrate this park's unique history. As for the park, in January 2024, the park was acquired by Gametime, which has locations throughout the United States, mainly in Florida. I never visited this location when it was its, but most attractions seem to have carried over from the its days. Most notably, the disco coaster located in this iconic space at the front of the park. A few signs remain around the property still say it's, as a complete theming redo doesn't seem to have been a major priority. This park has a collection of video games, 5 attractions, and a bowling alley. The video games seem to be arranged in 2 sections. Those up towards the front are more ticket reward games which wouldn't be included on a time play pass. Those towards the back are more racing games and other games that would be included on a time pass. The layout would help you maximize a time play pass for sure, while offering solid newer games, and some nice classic racing and shooting games. The bowling alley was kind of dark, which offered an interesting take on bowling. I couldn't get my timing down between bowls, as it felt a bit longer between setups just for me, but I could have just been really off on my bowling, as I just really could not get in a groove at all. For an hour of bowling, that was more than enough time for me and my wife, and a nice plus to our overall experience. The 5 attractions include monkey jump, disco, bumper cars, rock climbing wall, and an XD theater. The monkey jump is limited to just kids or smaller guests, as they wouldn't let me ride as an adult, so don't buy an attraction for this credit without making sure you can ride. The disco is so neat in a tight indoor corridor. With glass looking out to the parking lot, it is really special walking up seeing this as you enter the front doors. On ride, the windows are not as noticeable, especially at night when I rode it, but the closeness to the ceiling and walls is a bit unique for this type of ride. The spinning didn't seem to be a lot, likely because I was riding by myself, but if I did get to go straight up at the top of the apex, I got a minor weightlessness feeling. Mostly, you could tell, especially with the walls, that you didn't get super close to the end of the track, so it didn't feel like you might go off or anything. For an FEC attraction though, the power and feel of this flat ride is incredible, and I really enjoyed it for what it is. The bumper cars were a bit disappointing. My car was hard to steer, and I couldn't get it to go fast, so the collisions were rather weak. A similar model I rode at Mr. Gaddy's Pizza in Abilene was enjoyable, even by myself, with strong spinning and bumps. But this was pretty subpar when it comes to bumper cars. The XD Theater did not have guns like similar models in other FECs I've been to, but it is an enjoyable motion simulator that rocked and threw me around a bit, and even my wife, who is scared of bigger rides, enjoyed it. The rock climbing wall, or at least the side that I did, was really tough as there were few good handholds and the reaches were a bit long, so I wasn't able to complete my climb. But the walker was really nice and likely would have let me go a bunch of times if I really wanted to keep going. On that note, let's talk about operations. I went on a really quiet Monday where they don't offer many deals, so the place was virtually empty, which is kind of sad to see. The front desk is where you can buy arcade credits, and the attraction credits in bowling are purchased at the back bowling desk. It seems strange that you'd have both areas open like that on a slow night, but even with rotating staff, all attractions were open, and the one staff member simply followed me around as I visited each, so it was super easy to do everything while he was really nice and accommodating. I was worried when I saw the rides sitting idle that they were closed or it would be a pain to flag someone down, but they radio someone when I bought my attraction pass and told them where I was going, and it was smooth sailing after that. We ate before arriving, so I did not try the various food they have. It seems it's used to have a pizza buffet in the back, but now all the food has to be purchased and seems similar to what you'd expect from this type of establishment. The dining area looks massive, so I imagine they will be leaning into promoting their food to take advantage of the space they have at some point. But what about the price? FECs can get expensive fast, and that's not even counting video games. Most FECs across Texas charge $60 if you want an unlimited wristband to do everything, and $8 an attraction is fairly common. At first glance, Gametime seems to be about the same at $7.95 per attraction, with a slight discount of 3 attractions for $20 or 10 attractions for $50. So if you have a larger group, you can get a discount of only $5 per attraction. Play cards aren't as cheap as I thought either. Time play is $25 for an hour, with a slight discount for more. This does include e-tickets, but you likely won't need more than an hour of playtime. Credits are 25 cents or a quarter a piece, which isn't terrible as most games seem to be around 5 credits or $1.25, with larger games being 8 credits or $2. If you buy more credits, these do get cheaper at around 22 or 21 cents per credit, with the bonus credits included. Still expensive, but better than other parks that will charge almost $2 for every game, and not have a nice time play option. Bowling is not cheap either, but about on par with what it costs at $18 per hour before 6 p.m. and $20 per hour after 6 p.m. during the week. This peaks up to $36 per hour on Friday evenings and on the weekends. Bowling shoes are additional at about $3.50 for kids and $4.50 per adult shoe, so it can add up fast for a larger group. Fortunately, there are a few ways to save money with their discounts and deals. Not listed online is the weekday attraction deal, good Monday through Friday, where you can purchase 3 attractions for $8, which is essentially buy 1 attraction, get 2 attractions free. I was content to spend the $28 that I needed to ride each attraction once, but that would still be pricey. Instead, for $18 after tax, I was able to enjoy 4 attractions while having my wife ride with me on the XD Theater and the bumper cars. For a larger family, which is the target audience for any FEC, the ability to give away capacity on these rides is a huge plus, and I hope families can take advantage of this weeknight deal while it lasts. Other weekday deals occur just on Tuesdays or Thursdays. I missed these as it was just easier to visit on Monday with my schedule, but I'd highly recommend going on one of these 2 nights. $10 Tuesday is an awesome menu of things for $10. The 5 attractions for $10 is an incredible price, and would be all a solo rider needs to experience everything. The $10 bowling and $10 hour game card also make for great deals. Getting all three, you'd be out $30 plus shoes for bowling, an hour of gameplay, and all the attractions. Even a family of 4 could come and do all of this for $90 plus shoes, or even $100 if you wanted to splurge on 2 lanes of bowling. Even just bowling and doing the attractions was more than enough for me and my wife, so doing all 3 would easily be a complete night. Thursdays offer a timed gameplay special, as it is only $15 for unlimited free-play video games for the entire evening, essentially. Weekend lunchtime deals are also plentiful, with a 2-hour timed play card for only $15 before noon, and $10 for an hour of bowling before 2 p.m. Both ways to make it cheaper, though there are not attraction discounts on the weekends. Even with these deals, the prices are in line with what other family entertainment centers will charge. But if you're able to go on a day and really take advantage of the promotions, you should be able to have a great time at this park without spending a bunch of money. My wife and I only spent $41.21 after tax to bowl and get 6 total attractions, which, considering the $60 I spent for an unlimited wristband at other FECs, I feel this is reasonable for 2 people. We own a pair of bowling shoes, so that saved us a few bucks for those who can't get the math to add up. They don't have any incredible specials that make the experience fantastic, but they do have nice specials that put the overall park into a reasonable price category for those seeking to enjoy the offerings here. Overall, how good is Gametime? As a pay-per-play FEC, I wasn't expecting much out of this park. But even visiting when I didn't get the best of deals, I still really enjoyed my time here, from the friendly staff to the neat and clean atmosphere. There is more one could want out of a park like this, and they have room to expand, but likely aren't making enough money to do so. But for what they do offer, they do a good job. I rank this park in my rankings of Texas parks right above Outlaw Pass, which is a charming though expensive family entertainment center, and right below Yesterland Farm, which is a nice collection of kiddie coasters and flat rides, but has left me relatively unimpressed with the park as a whole on my visits. As Gametime gets hurt in my rankings for not having a coaster, if it just didn't take a penalty for that, it would be ranked between Austin's Park, which is a solid and large FEC in Austin, and Londa Park, which I rank highly for its beauty and because I like cheap train rides. I like trains. Plus, the water offerings at Londa Park are unique and a nice complement to the park as a whole. Gametime does a lot of things well for what it is, and I'd highly recommend checking it out if you get an opportunity, especially if you're a Houston coaster enthusiast, as, with this park's history, this is a unique park credit for a city that has so few coasters. What deals have you been able to enjoy at Gametime? How beautiful is their disco coaster to look at? Was it better back when it was It's Family Food and Fun? Let me know, and as always, Cupcoon Crap.
Okay, so these are like, they have a bunch of prize games up here, and then back in the back, with the racing games and stuff, is all the... But like,